Think around me. Cash moves everything around me. Cash moves everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Your character is a very complex character. Oftentimes he's torn between, what he really wants to do, what the CIA wants him to do. Can you expand a little bit on your character for people who are kind of maybe a little lost in the sauce here?
Yeah, so he's a CIA officer who goes undercover as a cocaine dealer, and he's selling cocaine in Los Angeles and using the money to supply the Contras in South America. That's sort of the setup, and then past that, he's also a troubled guy dealing with a past that we explore a little bit more this season about his struggles with mental illness and his family and his past and all of that, and he's a guy just teetering on the edge of sanity, I think, at all times, and sometimes he's doing it well, and sometimes he's falling apart.
So how has it been working with John Singleton?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, he's right here. I should talk some garbage about him, since he's right there, right? No, he's amazing. I mean, he's a legend of filmmaking, and he has an encyclopedic knowledge of filmmaking. It's amazing. Also, just like a really down to earth great guy, but he's always around for guidance and advice, and it's invaluable to have that, especially as somebody working in film and television really for the first time. I rely on it a lot to just be like, help me not screw this up,
Well, you're doing a great job, and we love seeing you on the show. We're so excited about season 2. So thank you so much for chatting with us. Appreciate it. Yes, of course. You need no introduction. Absolutely no introduction. It's such a pleasure to be speaking to you. And, you've been making TV and film for a very, very, very long time. Some of our absolute favorites, Boys in the Hood, Four Brothers, Poetic Justice. And you could have told this story that you're telling on SnowFall a long time ago. Why is it important to tell this story now?
I didn't want to tell it a long time ago. I mean, I was just making movies. I wasn't trying to do television shows. When you do TV, you're able to take something that basically, instead of something that you just have 2 hours to tell a story like in a movie, you can go multiple hours. And so it's what I call the elongated narrative. You're able to tell different permutations of the stories, and that's what I love about television.
And you are from Los Angeles, correct? And so you were very aware of this epidemic that was happening as it was happening. So, how has that influenced, being actually a part of the culture, how did that influence you telling this story?
Well, I just feel really a responsibility for basically to not be overly moralizing and overly judgmental about the people that actually lived through this, because some of my family and friends went through this stuff, and a lot of people came out. Some people came out of it, some people didn't come out of it. So hey.
Well, thank you for taking some time and chatting with us. It's really a pleasure. So, girl, listen, we're going to talk about the show. But first, we got to talk about this beautiful hair you rocking, honey. Not only, I love that you're rocking it on the show, but when we see you in the appearances, you look beautiful. Talk to us a little bit about this. This is gorgeous.
Thank you. I mean, I have some people to help me style the hair. I got a team. But in my everyday life, I still, I rock it natural. Yeah.
It's so beautiful because it's so empowering to so many of our sisters who are still trying to, fall in love with their hair a little bit.
I would say the most important thing is healthy hair. Everybody wants length, everybody wants volume and all that stuff, a certain kind of curl, and that's not important. You are who you are, and your hair will grow when it's healthy. You know what I mean? To whatever length it's gonna grow to.
Whatever you want. You can rock it the baldy like me, honey, or you can be just as gorgeous as you. Thank you. Thank you. And so John was talking about how you become a little bit of a gangster this season. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And as one of the few female cast members on the show, have you had any influence with your character transitioning into that gangster role?
I mean, Louis is gangster, and I love that, as we go on in the season, we get to see more of that. We also get to dive deeper and see her inner life and her, more vulnerable moments, and I love that. So, yeah.
Well, we are looking forward to season 2. Season 1 was amazing. So thank you so much for chatting with us. We're looking forward to seeing you on the screen, girl. All right. I'm standing here with Mr. Walter Mosley, a legendary writer, and working alongside John Singleton, another legendary director. Both of you all brilliant minds, responsible for some great work. How is it working together? I mean, do you guys butt heads, or is it just smooth sailing? How is it?
Yeah, no, with John, it's been very simple. It's very easy. We don't argue, actually. Sometimes we disagree. And, and I'm really clear about what I'm thinking and what I'm putting out there. But in the end, it's up to John. I mean, he's like the executive producer. He's the guy who's making the show. And, if he decides he's not going to take my idea, hey, that's fine. That's good.
So what do you do to get those creative juices really flowing to really write a good plot?
Listen, to write, you write every day. When I wake up in the morning, I write. And that's fine. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. That's some good advice for all the writers out there. All right.
Write every day. Yeah.
We're going to talk about the show, but I just kind of want to dive in and get to know you a little bit. Okay. All right. So your character, Franklin, he's a major drug dealer now. He's coming up in the game. However, he's a little bit of a mama's boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, a lot of it. Now, you are the youngest of 6.
Also a mama's boy.
Are you a mama's boy?
Yes, I am.
All right. See, so you were able to really kind of dive into that role easily.
I relate to Franklin, and always because of that. Being the youngest of 6, single mom, she's my queen. And Sissy Saint is Franklin's queen. So I think that's the comparison we both have.
Awesome. I mean, who knew? So you being, a man of African descent, but you are not obviously from the United States, but you're playing a role about a time in the United States that was extremely crucial. How did you have to educate yourself and prepare for that role? Maybe it wasn't something that you necessarily identified with. So how did you prepare for that?
I identified with it a lot. I mean, I'm from an inner city in Peckham in London, which is the South Central equivalent. So a lot of the things that was in the script, in that first script, I identified with crack cocaine, kids' relationship with their fathers. This is a universal thing, particularly in our community. When it comes to preparation, I had Dub C and I had John Singleton, 2 people who, could help me in every way, to really understand the soul of the character and what it means to be a young kid in the 80s in South Central. So that's how I prepared.
Now, I saw an interview we were talking about Dub C being your dialect coach, all right? And he took you to Popeyes. But did you make it to Roscoe's?
I ended up going Roscoe's by myself.
Okay, so Popeyes or Roscoe's?
Oh,
Come on.
Roscoe's.
All right.
But I like Sweet Chick more though.
All right. Well, thanks so much for chatting with us. Yeah, we heard it first. Roscoe's, honey. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Joe is greater than Mo.
You know what I'm saying, Joe? Joe way greater than Mo, Slim.
Oh my goodness. So you just got finished moderating this awesome, panel discussion with John Singleton, Dasmson Idris. Oh my gosh, Angela Lewis. Yeah, Walter Mosley. Oh my God, legends.
Yeah.
Legends in the building.
Yeah.
For the second season of SnowFall.
Right.
How'd you like the first episode?
It's dope. They picked up right where they left off. It's hard to keep people compelled. Second seasons, everybody has this big giant expectation, so you got to pull out all the stops, and they did not disappoint. This first episode of the second season. I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen. Since we're sitting on this side of it, we know what happens with the crack epidemic. We know how it all ultimately plays out, but to watch the details of it, to watch the actual CIA, a street dealer, Mexican cartels, and all of this stuff go on. I'm just anxious to watch. I think it's gonna be really, really dope. And John Singleton never disappoints.
He really did his thing. And when I was interviewing with him, I mentioned how he could have told this story a long time ago, but he decided to tell it now. And he said it was because it's television, so he had an opportunity to tell more of the story as opposed to a movie. But anyway, do you have any favorite characters?
Well, of course, Franklin. resonates, and the reason being is that I watched young men march off to prison and death simply because they just wanted something more. They had read the entrepreneur books. They had read the business books. They saw that you can build a company. They knew how to be entrepreneurs. But then America was giving them very few options. And then there's the cultural thing of what you think you can do. Maybe I can build a photo. There's a scene where his mother says, "What's in that bag?" And he says, "I'm reading Henry Ford's book." You know what I mean? So he's dreaming like Henry Ford. He would love to be the world's next car maker, but there's nothing even close to that opportunity. Where would he begin? But he does know he has to make something. So to watch that play out speaks to, I guess it just speaks to a lot of people that I know who wanted something more. It hits home because they wanted something more and ended up getting more than they bargained for.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's next with you, PGC? What are we listening for?
Well, you can listen for me, hopefully at the end of this month, you can hear my first music project will drop. It's called New Music for Old Niggas. It's not a game.
What's it called?
New Music for Old Niggas. Can I say? So it's New Music for Old Niggas. I ain't know which.
We keep it all the way 100 on MadFlavorTV, honey. We keep it all the way 100.
So it's New Music for Old Niggas. That's dropping hopefully in Labor Day. I'm going through some legal things right now, just trying to get a sample cleared basically. And once that is done, then I'm 2 thumbs up. And I have another project, Joe Clair and Friends, that we do at the Bethesda Blues and Jazz. Will be available for digital download. And both of these things I'm doing under my own labels and my own production companies because I want to funnel some of the money to the people at Covenant House that I work with. I do a lot of work with young men, young women over at Covenant House teaching music production, helps with self-esteem, helps with confidence, helps with life skills and everything else. But it's hard to get volunteers out, and we always need more money. So I was like, all right, you can watch the comedy show. Just download the comedy show on your phone for $5, $4.99. I'm gonna give the youngest $1.50, and then you helped. And matter of fact, you text me your name, I put your you helped. Because I believe in philanthropy, I believe in community, and in this way it feels like I can let the community help the youngest. You get to watch, and we're trying to come up with a way to let people get recognized for downloading it. Just because you download, boom, you get your name on the wall of help or something.
And then, wall of help.
And then the music is the same thing, and it's not like a comedy. I know everybody's like, it was a comedy rap album. I'm too old for that. I'm too grown for that. And like I said, I've seen too many people get too many things happen to us in America for me to be a funny rapper. So you can look for new music.
Much to talk about.
New music for old niggas coming your way real soon.
All right, well, you always supporting the city, so you know the city's always supporting you.
Thank you.
So absolutely. So we can't wait to see. Yeah, we can't see what you got new. And we love hearing you on the radio. So thanks for stopping and talking to us.
And
all right.
Listen to the Joe Clair Morning Show, 6 to 10 every morning, Monday through Friday on WPGC 95.5.
That radio voice.